Greetings and salutations, universe. This is Creeta, and this is Omnifactory. Now, in the last episode, we didn't get to see this building, but there was a 100 subscribers special in which we got to show this building off. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. There have been a few improvements made, like we're displaying the goods, and yeah, I'm super pleased with this place. If we go down into the basement down here, we are actually crafting some more of these bad boys. There's a whole bunch of them being made, 16 over there and 19 over here. So we should be good to go. I have made a little update, which is that we now have some farms hidden down here. We have a wheat field and a cocoa area. So now the only thing left is fish, but we still have a lot of fish from our last setup. Oh, look at all that. Oh, it's so good. All right, let's move ahead and check out what has been happening as a result of the last episode. One big thing is that I've transferred a whole bunch of interfaces to our system here, which we are now able to craft things like Electrum and all sorts of things, right? We've already shown you how to do some patternified things. In fact, I think the assembling room, we had some machines set up here, and there was a quest which was very helpful. I looked at this guy, and it seems that we can have ME interfaces pointing into themselves, so that how to word it. Let's grab the screwdriver. We can right click on that and have disallow input from output, but we want allow input from output side, so that basically items will come in from the interface down there. There is an interface hiding underneath this wooden plank right there. Beautiful. It's hidden. Try and have everything hidden. Have your wires be clean, people. These the boosts here are very nice, but at the same time, the particle effects, I'm not a super big fan of them. So let's go grab a cow. I did find out that our cows were kind of lagging our server, along with our sheep. So thank you to the Discord server for letting us know about that. Milk also gets rid of those annoying things. And here we have a different sort of setup. So this is a similar setup to what we had up there. I'm just kind of playing around with how I want to have items be kept. Right here we have an ME interface kind of supplying all these goods. And these guys will just auto-craft up to 2048, and I can increase that if I wish. And then we have a storage bus right here. So it's sort of like auto-crafting, but very specific items. I kind of like it. There is a quest that we're going to be looking at using the crafting card, and that is an option, but personally not my favorite thing. I'm really scared of crafting cards. We'll do this for the quest purpose. In fact, I think we might be able to just smash that out of the park right here. Can we do that? Crafting card, boop. Nope. Crafting card here, boop. Hey, there we go. And then crafting card, just for the quest. I'm personally not going to use them, but you know, keeping stuff in stock, it's fun. I think there is a system with like a level emitter or something of that nature, which can be useful, but I'm going to stick to drawers. Drawers is going to be what makes me happy, and we might even figure out a way to do a drawer system. I have it in my mind where we'll be able to have like a crafter right here, and it'll push items into a drawer, and as long as we supply it with everything in the craft, it should work, right? So we can have something that's super difficult be basically fed the correct items at all times. I think it'll work. Anywho, let's figure out what's next. I think we really do need to upgrade our assembling machine. So here is our MV assembler. This is going to be extremely important for doing very specific recipes, including ones that will use some of the polyethylene that we have been making. We should have a whole bunch of it right there. Ooh, polyethylene. I like it. But first, I think what we need to do is it looks like we need annealed copper to make some of these SMD components. So we should set up a dedicated machine for that. Thankfully, we should have all of the items required for that. Let's actually move some of our stuff. We're going to need a blast furnace. We're going to need 16 of this copper nickel stuff. We'll need an output for the annealed, an input for copper, some power, and a fluid source, specifically oxygen. I think this is going to be the very first machine that requires any amount of fluid, so oxygen. And thankfully we have the system right here that uses oxygen, right? Or makes it. So if we have it right here in the middle, I don't see why we can't just have a fluid output or input hatch right here, and that's already being filled with oxygen. How awesome is that? And we'll have an output bus right here, and we'll actually have it come to this spot, because why not, right? All we need to do is make sure that this is actually on output and always active. Beautiful. Then we just have to craft or put together the rest of the blast furnace. And there we go. I think this thing should be functional. We already have the required integrated circuit in here. So if we feed this a little bit of copper, it is turning on. Cool. Proper, very good. And then right here, I guess we'll have to put an insert and hope that that doesn't happen. Dust block. Definitely don't want dust blocks in there, so turn that off. We want annealed copper to go in here, so I guess we'll have to go to the output and grab some. Beautiful. Pull out this stuff, dust blocks. Perfect. And insert. There we go. All right. So we now have some annealed copper. Let's see what the quest has to say with that. It's required for more advanced electronic components. Yes, indeed. A little bit of oxygen on there, and it's good to go. I don't think we're going to need this dust block or sugarcane, but I think I will save that copper for a rainy day. Beautiful. Yeah, so now that'll build up, and we will go to 65,000 of it eventually. That's why I like passive. Passive is good. This will just kind of run. How are we doing on power? These guys are only pulling about 1,000 or a little bit over that, so there's 5 of these. Okay, so that's around 6-ish thousand RF protect. That's not terrible. We have a lot of space to go with that. Speaking of space, let's actually upgrade these energy cells. I don't think that we need to be using these any longer. And, you know, if we can, why not upgrade to some dense ones? Can we do that? Hello? Yoink. Yoink. Toss those in here. How many of these can we pull out? 5 of them? Beautiful. I think we'll be in good shape for some more energy moving forward. I will have to fill up the rest of these, but for now, I think that is lovely. The next step, as far as that assembly machine that we made and relating to the copper, is we should take a look at SMD components. So all of these little fellas, they require polyethylene. We can also make other things with polyethylene, like diodes, transistors. Can we make that yellow one? Anyway. So for starters, we need to set up some polyethylene to this machine. I'm going with light gray on all 3 cylinders, and it should fill up that spot. Now I'm hoping, actually I think we might want to put this tank down here, just for security's sake. Otherwise that fluid might go into that solidifier, and that would be bad. Alright, so the next step is to set up some patterns, right? So we can go to our terminal, and as with everything, we can just pop up polyethylene, right? Hey, no, come back. There we go. Polyethylene, and we can set a pattern for pretty much everything that's going in and out of this. So we can have transistors, we can have diodes, etc. And these things, we might not necessarily use them right away, but we will be able to call on pretty much anything without too much trouble, and we, we'll be in good shape. So let's just get all those set up, make sure we don't have any duplicates, and before you know it, we should have everything we need. I'm going to stick with these ones for now. I don't think we'll need diodes. Transistors will be super useful, but I want a whole bunch of all of these SMD components. Eventually we'll probably pacify it, make it passive, but for right now, that should be okay. Oh, backups are always good to see. Maybe I should set that backup to be a little bit sooner, but that's okay. There we go. Now, let's try calling some of those SMD components. Look at all this stuff we can already craft. That's fantastic. Missing aluminum foil and thin silicone rubber. I might have done a bad recipe for that, because if we put this in here, we might want to be using... Is that the only one? Silicone rubber? We have to figure out how to make that? Oy. There's no other way? I feel like there was another way. Yeah. Polyvinyl chloride. Why can't we do that? There we go. Change that recipe. Beautiful. We'll be able to get that stuff a lot easier. So just plop that back in there. I guess we'll try calling the other SMD components and try for those. So can we call 100 of these? Beautiful. And then right after that, we will call some of these, maybe? Probably missing some gallium and platinum. We do need a better source of platinum. I got a little bit of it from slimes, but this is a very bad method. We should be doing it using end stone, and I'm still waiting on the nickel to complete. How are we doing on nickel? Pop down here. Where's the nickel? Are you nickel? No, you're platinum. Nickel. Where is the nickel? Is that nickel? Nickel. Nickel. There's nickel. Okay, we're about halfway there for nickel. It just takes a long time. But that's pretty fantastic. So we already have some of our SMD components. Where are they? Do we not have that on auto output? I bet we don't. Remember, it's always important to have this on auto output. Normal wrench. Yep, that is crafting. Item output enabled. And we're going to have to get our wrench, I suppose. There we go. Steel wrench. Pop. Yoink. And yoink. There we go. Allow input from output side. And we should be cooking. There we go. Oh, so many things to fix. But we are advancing rather quickly, I think, which is really exciting. SMD, there we go. Some resistors for us. And that is the first of one of the SMD components that we need. It looks like we don't need the diodes yet, but we'll probably get some as well. Why not, right? And there we go. Most of that was just moving around some gallium, and I did have to process a little bit of the our lovely and fantastic and wonderful annealed copper, but there we go. This is going to allow us to make some pretty fantastic things, especially basic RF capacitors. That, for me, is very exciting, because this is a much easier recipe than making these things using tin alloy foil and all that random stuff. But there we go. Diddle-oo! And let's take a peek. Now to move forward, this is saying that we want the third and final tier 1 circuits. That's pretty cool. The other thing we can do is go towards HV machine hulls. But I kind of want to finish off this page before we really dive into the HV era. So maybe we could actually make a multi-smelter. In fact, I think we have most of the things for that, which is quite fantastic. Where, oh where would everything for the multi-smelter be? It looked like we were actually out of circuits, but thankfully we are good to go. There we go. Multi-smelter. Now, what is so special about this fellow? Let's take a look at the multi-smelter. It is basically exactly like the EBF, but it's shorter. And it kind of lets you read it here, but it's a kind of unique item. We can smelt huge amount of items per second, and we can even upgrade the coils and power tier and all sorts of fancy stuff. So this is going to be very nice, and I'll probably replace our hidden little diamond smelter here with something better. Oh, that was a funny little glitch. Whoa, fascinating. But we'll probably do that another time. I'm just sort of in the mood for completing quests, and I like to do that with you guys. Let's take a look at the next bit. We need to figure out plastic circuit boards. Now, this is the primary reason that we got the polyvinyl chloride. We could have gone with polyethylene, and we might, because I feel like polyethylene is free. That's what my brain says. Yeah, polyethylene is free. Anything involving chloride involves us needing to get salt, and I've heard horror stories about how tricky it is to get salt. So we might just go with the cheaper option of polyethylene to plastic circuit boards. Is that me being a chicken? Yeah, it pretty much is. But if it makes you happy, go with that method. So we need to get together some copper stuff, and we should be in pretty good shape pretty rapidly. This looks like the perfect spot. We used to have something else there. I don't know what it was, but yeah. Ooh, look at that assembling machine, advanced. Probably have to make this one advanced as well. This one makes our circuits. Anyway, I'm getting distracted already. We can plop down this advanced chemical reactor, and I think it will have enough power. We are giving it 4 amps of LV, so I think that's how it works. It already has sulfuric acid, so if we were to give it some polyethylene and copper foil, what comes out should be what we want. And we're going to plop that right there and put it on auto output. Beautiful. Yes? Yes? Come on. Hey, there it is. We're going to lock it and take it out. Plastic circuit board. Oh, that's such a good sound to hear. Now, with that, we should be able to get this guy, the third and final Tier 1 circuit. What is involved in making you, my friend? We need CPU. Okay, that's a little annoying. Fine tin alloy wire. That's no big deal. And we can use SMD components. Oh, yes. And it makes 4 circuits. Ooh. I don't think we're anywhere close to SOCs. Circuit on, or what is that? System on chips. No, we don't need that. We can definitely do this, which will involve upgrading our tin assembler. So, that should be as simple as replacing you, right? I can even save the liquid by turning off the liquid going down and just sort of yoink this guy using a tank. That should work, right? Yoink. And boop. Now that the tin is in here, I can take out this assembling machine and replace it with a different one. Like so. Let's see, we put in the stuff right there. Tin goes in there. Lovely. And then we just need the recipes. We can actually probably do that lickety-split. So what's the recipe for that? We want the circuit. Was it Tier 1? I think so. Oh dear. I feel like sneezing. Oh, alright, that was a big sneeze. So, this pattern should work very well. What can we make out of this little fella? I bet we can make a third Tier 2 circuit, right? And I imagine that there's a different recipe for it, pretty much using everything that we have access to, plus the new refined circuits and SMDs. Perfect. I like it. And can we turn that into another circuit? I bet we can. Recipe with SMDs? Oh, you know it. Stainless steel plates. Ooh. Ugh. I'm not too sure about this recipe. but I'm sure we'll need to do it at some point. So out it comes, and up we go. Though I suppose actually we can just put it in via this guy right here. We are looking for an advanced assembly machine. I think this one will do very well. So tier 1 circuit, tier 2 circuit, and tier 3 circuit. I personally might end up using this recipe a little bit more. I'm not sure. Probably not though. That is actually really gross now that we're looking at it. Yeah, this one's not so bad, huh? Nice. All right, let's try and just craft one, huh? Circuit. Let's try and craft a big one first. Will it let us? Fine tin alloy and vibrant alloy. I really appreciate that this goes from tin alloy to fine tin alloy wire. That's a really nice thing. Normally we have to do 2 steps in the wire mill process for that. So I appreciate that a great deal. Where is our wire mill? There we go, with our fine stuff. Beautiful. Probably don't need that one. We have that auto crafting now. Anywho, what were we trying to craft? Oh, now we need vibrant. Hey, there we go. That's gonna craft all 3 circuits, and then we can kind of go backwards and craft like one of these. Beautiful. And then it might let us craft one of these. I don't know. Oh, we don't have enough coprocessors. That makes sense. Right now we only do have these 2 fellas. So this guy is currently making the whatever that one is. What I call that a 3-2, and that's a 2-2, I think. Something like that. Uh-oh, we're stuck in the glass. And look at that. Not only do we have our 3, what is this, 1-3? The 2-3 and a 3-3. Or, I don't know, something. Look at that. 3rd and final tier 1 circuit. We are rolling in it. Are we going to gain access to all 3 at one time? We did. Oh, that is so perfect. That makes for a very, very happy Creeta. Now, we have all sorts of things that are auto-crafting in our base. This is mostly just a test. Oh, look at all those quests go. Doo-doo-doo. So this is primarily a test run. I'm thinking of doing this for a lot of resources in our next base. Why don't we actually go take a look at the area intended for that? I believe it's over here. Aha! Well, we need this to be day. There we go. Just a little short wait later, and we do have the sun rising over yonder. This is an area which I've cleared out. I've filled in most of the holes, and we're going to have our MV/EV base here. It should be big enough. And we have a series of block pallets already selected. Pretty much we're going to be relying heavily on factory blocks, on Tyrian, and, kind of interestingly, blocks of coke. I have a ton of this stuff because we've been making so much phenol, and yeah, the only thing is, like, I do kind of have to rule out certain blocks. Like, I do not like this large rusty scaffold thing, so I'll probably just pop this block out, and I don't like, where's that pipe guy right there? Where's that guy? There. I don't like that one. I'm not a super big fan of that one, but that's sort of the idea. I want to get rid of certain blocks that just don't look good, especially when they don't look good in a 3x3 area. It's not very nice to look at it. You want things to blend together. Like, look at these two. Oh, it's gorgeous. And a lot of these coke blocks, it's kind of like an interesting blue. I have some of these in the s'more factory, and I really do like those. Look at that. Massive hexagonal plating. And if we're very clever, we can do this massive fan pattern. If you look here, this guy has to be done every specific area. So if I take this guy and I put him here, it's going to be the top right of the fan because it's a 3x3 and they all are in a very specified pattern. I was very surprised by this one, pipes. It reminds me of a pipe game that I played as a child. I think they're still on computers. It's hard to say. But this thing, we won't use a multi-block, I think. We might use that here and there for very specific purposes, but I'm very excited. I think we're very close to starting to be able to move in there. I'm going to have a rule with this base, which is only HV machines, or EV, right? Nothing LV or MV. It's all going to be HV, high voltage. And with that, we are pretty much at the end of the episode. I'm so happy with like the amount of stuff that we have going on in the base. So many things are being able to be crafted, passively crafted, and I'm really liking the system that we have, where we kind of keep 2,048 items in stock with that system back there. It is fantastic. Now, moving forward, we might keep in stock more items or less, but I think that's a fantastic start to our heavy automation. If you guys have any desires for what you want to see, please let me know. I'm totally open to suggestions, and if you think I'm doing something absolutely in a silly manner, sometimes it's intentional, but sometimes I'm just ignorant. Anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic time, staying safe. I think the world is healing itself quite reasonably. And yeah, this has been Creeta playing Omnifactory. It's been lots of fun. Bye bye. Bye.